Hello, everyone. It is the finale, Season 8, coming to an end. We still have quite the championship tussle. Here's a look back at all that has happened through the past seasons, or the past races this season, and to where we are at this point. As per usual, I'm joined by my Australian counterpart, who's enjoying some hot weather, I'm presuming there, Jacko?
Yeah, it's been very hot recently, but today has been reasonably good, mild, so happy with that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, today was actually kind of nice for me, too. I kind of worked myself into a sweat, which I haven't done the past little while.
No.
Yeah, it's been too cold to sweat. I mean, Vancouver terms. The rest of Canada will be angry at that. Because I don't know if you know, Jacko, but Vancouver, where I'm from, is labeled as the Hollywood of Canada.
That is interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Mm-hmm. No, a lot of movies and TV shows and whatnot are shot in Vancouver because of the Canadian dollar being cheaper and whatnot, and has a vast array of different areas that you can shoot in and whatnot. So, film business is booming. I actually worked at a warehouse with film equipment for a month. That was fun. It was like. Yeah, it was mind-numbing warehouse work. It was like, have you ever done warehouse work?
No.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it can just be mind-numbing. Like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But yeah, if you like that, then yeah, warehouse work is for you. But that wasn't for me. But anywho, enough of that. Crash's story time is over. Let's check out the Division 1 Drivers' Championship. Now, you had a little bit of a mention of the McLaren curse beforehand, Jacko. It's happening.
Yeah, well, McLaren can't win the Constructors' Championship. That's already gone to Mercedes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the drivers, they can win. But, man, it's going to be difficult.
Yes, tough show for Scornsey. You can see on the top there, Ryan Rodds needs top 9 finish to win the championship. So, very much achievable. We'll see though. You never know. Things can happen. What's the most memorable final race that you have of actual IRL F1?
Oh, there's a lot to choose from. Probably going to be. Well, for the wrong reasons, 2008. Everyone's going to remember that one, but it's remembered for the is that Glock and Mass's like family crying afterwards. Yeah, that one has to be that one.
Yeah. Well, there's heartbreaks in racing and in sports in general, and if they weren't there, then it wouldn't be sports. So it's yeah.
Of course.
But. Yeah,
2016 also with Hamilton trying to back Rosberg, his own teammate, into the rest of the pack so that one person would pass him. That was interesting.
Oh God. All right. Well, anywho, we continue on here. We got the results from last week. Merck 1-2, race day, finishing on the podium. Solid finish from Palmer. Could have been better if he didn't run out of fuel. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, and that would have really helped him with his aspirations of staying in the division for next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true enough. Still doing a really good job there in the races that he does finish. He's had some pretty proper results. The Alfa Romeo tandem are placed third right now in the Constructors. We still got a little bit of time, so we'll go on to Division 2. That is blocking, so let's update that over there. And then you can see there that VTEC only just needs a points finish. So he just needs to finish the race, and he will take home the Division 2 Drivers' Championship. I mean, that's not a surprise, though. The guy's the GOAT, Jacko?
Oh, jeez.
I mean...
That is what I've heard. No reason to doubt it either.
No, not at all. I mean, with this result here, I mean, there's a couple of good names in Division 2, and he's coming out on top. Just shows. The guy's just impeccable. But anywho, on to the Constructors' Championship. Still a proper fight there. Red Bull, Mercedes, and Aston Martin all are right there. And I mean, an absolute miracle needs to happen for the Williams to be able to get it. But you can never count that out. Some crazier things have happened. Fuck it. We'll just keep trudging on here. Division 3, Electric Blade has hold that down. He has gained promotion to Division 2 for next season. Still a battle between the rest of the field there. Pork Chops is currently sitting in Division 3, Position 3, but we'll see if he loses that out to GJ Knickknack or Jordy M. Slayer Eyes, I think, is locked. I believe he's locked promotion at this point now. I think he just needs a points finish and he's locked. But he's looked really good as well. Excited to see him up in Division 2 for next season. And quickly over to the Constructors Championship for that. Alpine leading the way. Williams can still get her done. Aston Martin as well, still with the hope in hell, but not a very big one. But the door is open, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see drivers moving up through the rankings, especially drivers who I know are capable of being higher in the divisions than they are. Slayer is a good example of that.
Mm-hmm.
He actually got a pole in a race I was involved in yesterday at Monaco, and raced really well the whole time. And I expect him to be definitely a competitor in D2 that has a chance at winning that.
Oh. So this just in, no assists from Pork tonight in Division 3. So from what I get from that, I don't know if you're going to get the same thing from my initial thought here. But Pork is trying to throw third position and stay in Division 3. That's kind of sus.
That, or he's preparing for moving up with that lack of assists in the next season.
I like my thought better because it makes him look like he's scum. All right.
Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah. Fair enough. You always do. I go straight to the worst case scenario.
Can't that driver just choose not to move up if that's the case, though, if they don't want to remove the assists? Isn't that a rule?
I think Pork has done that like 2 seasons in a row to stay in Division 3.
What's to stop him from winning the title and then being like, no, I don't want to go up?
The only thing stopping him from winning the title is him not putting however many points he needs in for him to go into first. All right, who do you want to jump on board here? I think Matt Rosie's coming around. That'll be a good one.
Okay, we've got the DRS Open here in Bahrain. What a great track to end the season on, by the way. A track that promotes excellent battles throughout the lap. And that's a nicely apex turn 1. Set yourself up. Hopefully can stay flat for these next few corners. Open up the DRS again towards turn 4, which can also be an overtaking opportunity around the inside or outside. But you're going to have it settled before you get to the next part of the track, though, because going through here side by side is very risky. It can be done. I've done it with Dusty in the past, but I've also been spun out by people trying to go side by side there as well. This is not a great place to be passing, but you can do it if you're close enough, sort of make an inside move. And here I would definitely not suggest going side by side. Very easy to lock up there as well, but Matt Rosie handles it perfectly. And here's the third DRS zone. Not quite long enough to make moves because this isn't a particularly hard braking zone, as Matt uses the esports line there across the curb, which is absolutely correct. Doesn't use the left curb there, which some drivers will, some drivers won't. And here's the next sector split. Doesn't quite apex the corner there, though, which is going to lose him a little bit of time as Dusty goes to the top. No DRS here, but this can be a last lap opportunity if you have the ERS to make it work. And last 2 turns. I don't know really why it's 2 turns on the map there, but there we go. And here's the DRS to the line. It's going to be a 28.2. Not enough to take pole away from Ryan Rods at the moment with a 28.0, which is a very good first time.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get it done here. Starting off really well. The 2 Haas's coming over here. Sharia, now Lancy, 5th and 7th as it stands. The next Merc of Edwin will go 3rd, putting Matt Rosie still in 2nd. The Turtle, no, it is Dace, followed by, I believe that's an Alpine. And there's too many bloody blues. I still, that's an Alpine, but I can't. It's, of course, the other one. And Dace, a little bit off the time there, but I imagine he's going to line up another one. I wasn't looking. And the turtle goes
Yep.
7th.
Shelley goes 29.3. Not really that important, but for reference, my PB around here is at 28.3. So I'd expect to see that be, what, 5th or 6th region by the end of the session. We got the 2 teams who have been dominating the season in the top 4. In fact, the 3 teams in the top 6, to be fair. So there's no surprises in that. But I think that there will be some improvements throughout the grid by the end of the session.
Yeah, things you like to see, though. There's a lot of times already over here. Last 3 guys. I mean, I guess Dace technically counts as one, but he's going around for his proper hot lap here, and he decides he wants to spin it there around turn 11. Yeah, I agree with you on how the last 2 turns is not really 2 turns. I don't get it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pedantic, really, isn't it? Naming 2 turns there, but whatever. It's kind of like Austria, where some of the kinks are named turns, where they're not really turns.
Yeah.
Say is 1/10 up on a 44.4. Hopefully, it's actually purple in sector 1.
Yeah.
It's funny, although it could be a glitch. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully, he made a mistake not in the first sector, because on his previous lap, that would not add up properly.
If that's the case, he really needs to figure out sector 2 and 3. Yeah, but we'll
Yellow flags, but there's no one having issues on the map. That's weird.
This game is just beyond me at times. There we go. Seems he has corrected his mistake in sector 2 there. Now 4.5 seconds up.
He still must have made a mistake in sector 3. Oh no, he probably backed off after that mistake. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught on board with him at one point, and he was in neutral.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that's for sure. And here he goes. Saeen's over just behind his teammate. Yeah, not too bad. It would have been nice if the Ferraris could have done that all season, but, I mean, it is what it is.
Formation flying from the man. If Sharia could just put his car 9th or 10th, we'd have all the Ferrari engines in a row. Seems everyone's either in the pits on an out lap or an in lap.
Yeah, Dusty is the closest man to start one. Looking to get some laps in early. He was the first one out to set a time, and now he's the first one back out to set his second.
Well, the most recent time I raced at this track, the winner of the race was Dusty, so I expect big things from him.
Oh, Pork has put into the chat that Mitch Burns is taking a season off.
Okay.
We'll see if Ryan Rods is just one season, as he did mention last week.
Oh, Dusty spins it.
Unfortunate there. So early in the lap, I mean, depending on how heated his tires are there, you can probably get around for another one on the same set. You'll have plenty of time to recharge that battery, that's for sure. But yeah, like I was saying there, Ryan Rods, I don't know if you caught that, Jacko. I was at the end of the interview last week, said that he's supposedly retiring after this race as well.
Oh. Big news.
Yes.
Well, he'll be hoping to go out on top, Rosberg style.
Yeah.
If he does win the championship tonight, it will be the second title he's won within 1 week. I do know that.
Oh.
So, yeah. Some recent success for him.
So not a good start for EA taking over Codemasters, that's for sure. We've, I mean, I don't know how much of it is EA's fault, but as it has been quite apparent, this doesn't seem to be the game for a lot of people.
Oh no, the numbers in all leagues are lower than previous games.
Yeah.
Due to the quality of this game, absolutely right. It's sad, but, It's the way it goes. I think we've actually seen 2020 be the better game out of the three that we've raced in Midwest.
Oh, wow.
And then 21 was better than this. So yeah. The
Yeah,
wrong way of the trajectory.
yeah, I remember 2021 being a shift as well to a lot of people off the initial start. I mean, this one was
It was
very
patched, to
different.
be fair.
Yeah, no, true. Was it this game or it was last game though, wasn't it? Where they had to completely wipe away all time trials like 3 months into the game because the game was so different after their patches?
Definitely last game. Maybe in both.
Hmm.
I don't remember. But certainly last game that happened.
Yeah.
This game was the one where when it came out, we had those sound glitches happening at the start of the race. I don't know if you ever experienced it, but
No.
as drivers, we did a lot. Where it would sound awful.
Wow.
Thankfully, they patched that out, but there's still plenty of other things wrong with it.
Yeah, Grumpy is saying it happened in both games.
Yeah, okay.
So Rosie's giving Scornsy a little toe here down the pit straight. He's giving him a nice toe.
Yeah.
He could have given a little bit longer, but still. You know, in my driving abilities, sometimes I don't account for my braking zone with the toe, and I come in a little bit too hot. So it almost like it.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah, it ruins me sometimes. I'm just flying and I'm not prepared for the turn.
Yeah, the best track for getting a toe is definitely Baku because you don't need to account for the toe later on. You just cross the line at the end of the lap having had the toe and just benefit the whole way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it won't really make a difference on the start of the initial lap.
That's right.
We'll see. We're riding on Scornsy the whole way through here. We'll see what he can do. I think Ryan Rods came out, but he didn't. I don't believe he set a quicker time. I didn't catch any of that. Edwin has been quickly pushed down to 7th, at one point sitting in 3rd.
Yeah, it was Aero and Race Day popping up there into the second row provisionally.
Yes. Yes, Ryan Rods' McLaren is towing.
I think Scornsy's not got the time he wanted and he's pulling into the pits, yeah.
Wow. And Matt is as well. Race day.
Dusty's right up behind the Red Bull. Not sure if he's about to get a tow to start his lap. I think that's exactly what's happening here. So we've got an inter-team tow going on as well with the McLaren tow.
Yeah, is that bacon? That's probably bacon.
Yeah, it's always bacon.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. The guy doesn't care. He'll tow anyone. That's so funny.
Oh, Ryan saying the track temperature is down, so the grip is gone. Okay, that's interesting. That will certainly put a smile on his face since he has the provisional best time.
Mother Ellie in chat. Good evening.
Hello, Mother Ellie. Shelley also putting a bit too much fuel in his car, apparently.
Shelley shouting out Mother Ellie. You know, Ryan Rods, you can't say diddly, man. You're, you never freaking sub to us.
Oof.
Previously 1 month subbed. That's not enough. The amount of airtime we've gifted. And Dusty, after the entire lap, is going to put himself into the pit. Was not content with how that went. Nikki as well into the design pit. And Edwin looks like he's going to be starting one. Sayains is going to be coming into the pit most likely. Unless our telemetry is way off. Decides to invalidate it as well, just for good measure. Nikki says that's enough qualifying for me. Uh,
Okay, I think Edwin's probably one of the very few drivers already on his lap. 3 minutes to go in the session will be his final attempt. It looks like a good first sector, up by over a tenth on his previous best time.
yeah, I mean, with the form that he's put in this season, I imagine that he must have misplaced his lap somewhere. Looking to find it.
Yeah. Been through the lost and found bin.
Yeah.
And, well, it looks like very tidy so far after this car.
Wow, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Sorry, Edwin.
It's 100% on you.
No.
Oh, the instant. Oh, that was too good. That's too good. Race day.
Well,
Oh, we didn't even catch this. Bobbert Yates is in the lobby.
oh yeah, we thought that. Bobbert Yates, front runner.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
look. Oh, would you look at that? What do we got going on here?
Race day is starting his lap now.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the braking zone for turn 1. Looks pretty good so far. I was so ready for him to spin when I said that. Dips the left wheel into the off the racing surface there, as most people will do here. Really fun track for the dipping your wheels just off the track prior to a braking zone. Nicely apexed there as well. Alfa Romeo driver currently fourth in the standings, fourth on the grid for the moment. Slightly wide line there, but gets the apex of the important part. Dips the wheel off again into the braking zone. And tidy to the point where Edwin was, and further, it seems. Let's see what the sector split is across right here. And that's 1/10 of improvement. That will see him possibly as high as second. Depends if you get a distant tow from one of these cars. That would be very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much time he can make up in Sector 3 there, but he's
second place, I think this is going to be.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very close, actually, to pole. Ryan has found about 2/3 of a tenth here, through the first sector at least. Now onto the back straight.
Cake
Exit curve.
Cake puts his final time into 12th place. The secondary Alpha got Palmer is invalid, cannot improve. We have Scavney, no, that's front runner, off at turn 14. I'm not sure if he maybe forgot to take that.
Ryan actually lost some time in the middle sector, possibly putting the wheels on the exit curve at 10, I think it is. That would be my guess as to where that time went, but I could be wrong.
Scornsy's just coming over the line here.
Time.
Sorry, quickly, and he will go third, just behind race day.
Important improvement. What's right? Okay, no improvement for Ryan across the line.
Matt Rose
is 2/10 down.
Yeah.
Say is also 2/10 down. Lansley's done. Is done. Scabney might be on one here.
Who is that?
Half a tenth up. Scabney.
Okay.
Is he going to get a tow? Is that Bacon again? No way, it's Bacon again. Giving a tow.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, the curb won't help. The tow will, though. No, it doesn't improve.
Oh. If anything, just brought him closer.
Dace moved up to 12th, which will please him since he was last. We know Dace has a lot more in the tank there, though. I've seen him in the mid-28s before.
Check the pinned message. Where's the pinned message? By doing so, I accidentally pinned your message. In the D1 chat.
right. Well, qualifying is over. That's going to be an extra point there for Ryan Rods, which will help him assert an even further lead before this final race takes place. Race day Scornsey Championship combatants also up there in the top three, with the other championship contender in 8th, Edwin there.
Okay, I see it now. Bacon. 15 months in a row with another shub. Yeah, that reminds me. I should update mine. Will I do that, Chaco? Take us through quali.
All right, championship leader, as I said, on pole, race day, Scornsey, second and third. McLaren's line up side by side with Matt Rosie in 4th. Aero joins them in the top 5. Say 6th. I've got Palmer 7th. Edwin, championship combatant, 5/10 off there in 8th. And it's Landsy and Dusty also in the top 10. Scavney, Dace, Cake, Sharia, Shelley, Bacon, Nikki, Smith, Bobbert, Yates, and Frontrunner, all with times. And everyone will be eligible for the hardest charger.
Oh, well, there you go. We'll see if that comes into play. Dan, I've got 24 months subbed to this channel.
Wow.
Yeah. That's 2 years, if you didn't know.
I'm pretty sure confident in that maths.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know. Okay, but anyway, Division 4.
Whoa! Look at the mechanics in the pits.
I see that. No, they're T-posing
on top of each other.
There's 3 of them. Oh my god.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's a little sus as well. There's no one else in the garage. It's just them. The garage is empty. They've left the monitors on too.
All down the pit lane as well. Every team.
Yeah. Look at the marshals on the left. They're looking at them confused. They don't know what to make of it. That's so random.
I was talking with another commentator earlier this week. At tracks like this in Abu Dhabi, for example, do you think that the fans should be more likely to be in, like, Arabic dress styles? Because none of them are in the game.
Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. Are they?
I've not seen a single one, like, wearing, like, a Sheikh's outfit or anything like that.
Well, how much of them are IRL? I mean, there's got to be quite a few, but I mean, there are plenty of traveling F1 fans.
Oh, that's fair, true. But, I mean, like, a percentage.
Yeah, no, I agree, yeah. So what, in Mexico they would be wearing sombreros?
None. They just all look the same. Like, look at the crowd here.
That's racist.
It is.
Oh, that was too good. Oh, that was good. I mean, yeah.
All right.
And shouldn't the parking lots be full of like Bentleys and Ferraris and Lambos and everything?
I mean, that's definitely a consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost game breaking, isn't it? The lack of that.
I think that would
anyway.
Keep the player percentage a lot higher if they added in little snippets.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
the retention rates.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, people would be a lot more interested in staying along if people in the stands were dressed in their native attire.
Okay, let's look down the grid here for anyone on different strategies. We've got what looks to be 17 medium runners and 3 hard runners, Scavney being the highest in 11th place, joined by Nicky and Bobbert Yates in 17th and 19th.
But that's not...
no softs.
Yeah.
I've run soft around here at the start and had a decent amount of success, so I expected at least 1 or 2, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. So we'll see if they come into play later on or not at all.
You know what? The one thing that I'm looking for here into turn 1 here, Jacko, is if Scornsy has ordered Matt Rosie to execute Order 66 on Ryan Rods.
I think Matt's the type of person that would accept such an order.
No. I mean, if he's been chipped, he has no choice. We'll see. We're about to get into it. Last time in Season 8, as we're working our way out of this game, at least people can know we're over halfway through this journey, and hopefully F1 2024 is something a little bit better to offer. But until then, 2023. Oh yeah, this is true. Okay, F1 is always like a year behind with their games. So yeah,
true.
In comparison, because like in NHL, NFL, they all release like October, and they're all like the next year. But anywho, 5 red lights are hit up, and for the final time they go out. We have a good start from the McLarens. Race day might be under a little bit of pressure there from Matt Rosie. Actually has to slip out, but we got Scornsy coming on the outside and looking to already get an overtake around him. Ryan Rods leads it fairly comfortably. Scornsy pushed out wide, as is his teammate. Still takes a clean lead there into second place. Edwin's looking pretty fierce there, but is dropping back ever so slightly as the conga line ensues. A spun out front runner in the back of the pack. And we work our way through with Gott Palmer and Arrow duking it out, with Gott Palmer getting the better of him there. Lancey taking a little bit of peek there on Arrows. Arrows lost 3 positions already. Scavney is down 4. Not a big surprise there being on the hards. A wide line from Lancey. That could open him up for Dusty, but Dusty does not get a good launch out of that turn. Another sector 2 yellow, and that seems to be Bacon, maybe spun, or Nicky. Nicky looks like he found a little bit of difficulties there. Scornsy still working on the hunt of Ryan Rods. He's got a lot to do here. He needs to get the win, and Ryan Rods to finish in 10th for him to have a shot there. Dusty Lusky drops out of the top 10 with Sharia going up into 10th place, just behind his teammate, trying to close that gap back down. Cake following very close in behind those two. Scavney on the hards, cannot get them warmed up, and he spins as well now in the back of the pack. And a fairly interesting lap 1. Nothing too crazy happened. A couple of people found some troubles, but still a long race to go. Shelley getting his teammate there, actually, with Dace, looking to really miss the apex there into turn 14 and 15. And now is far back behind his teammate. Won't even get the toe, but Bobbert is not really too close to follow. Any surprises that you found there, Jacko, while that was all happening?
Well, obviously we saw the AlphaTauri struggles there. Now falling to the last and second last. Edwin made up 2 places, which I'm not sure we caught. He made them up really early, like before turn 1, so it must have been a great launch from the second Mercedes there. Other than that, I don't really see any surprises. Just Dace is lower than he probably should be.
Yeah, for sure. He hasn't had the best of lap 1. Scornsy still following Scornsy still following Ryan Rods with the race day just outside the second window, but he's creeping in as we speak. It's going to be important for him to try and keep that, so he has a little bit of better chance to defend against Rosie down the straights.
Yeah, when DRS is enabled, we're going to see a bit more of who's going to be capable of passing and defending, etc., etc. Also need to see if anyone can stay in or break DRS. And we've had an issue there at turn 9. I don't know if it's 9, is it 11, sorry, yeah. For Smith Pell, I think, in the Alpine.
Mm-hmm. Did Scavney already pitted and got rid of those hards?
Yeah, probably had some damage.
And Scornsy's must have made a mistake because he's over second back now.
Let's see if it stops. Yep, front wing change for Scavney. I think that Ryan may have dumped the battery to escape the DRS zone because he's down at 25%. Not necessarily a mistake on Scornsy's part.
Shelley is looking fairly quick. He's got 2 positions so far, and he's trying to get Cake. He's draped all over him here. Not in a area where it does offer a overtake, especially this early, but fairly tight onto the back of him. And I mean, it'll be absolutely bold, but it goes down to the inside on turn 10 would be crazy and doesn't even think about it. Opts for a clean apex and a good launch out, but nothing will really be happening here. Cake is losing a little bit of time to Dusty there as Dusty is closing up to Sharia. But still there, nothing quite going. Maybe down the pit straight. Sharia has also kind of dumped the battery a little bit in defense, so he might not have much. Maybe even to turn 4. We could see something there. Scornsy continually falling off of Ryan rods as Ryan has early on found a groove.
Yeah, you really need a tyre advantage to make moves in the middle sector, so we may see it happen later in the race, but for now, most moves will be made in these DRS zones, especially when drivers have a surplus of battery. If you look at Shelley, he's got 71% compared to the flashing Cake in front, but it does seem that Cake has much less downforce because he's sort of still got away there.
Yeah, he took a really bad break into turn 1, and he's going to be very vulnerable to Shelley, and Shelley's going to dump the battery now. We've got a proper little drag between the Aston and the Red Bull, and Shelley will come out on top. But Cake breaks
Really,
deep to try and hold that position, but Shelley does a good job and gets it in the end.
Yeah,
Up into 12th goes the Turtle.
good move.
Yeah, it was very well done. He was just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen and just kind of lent himself. And more
Smith Powell with further issues in the Alpine grip issues, it seems.
Yeah, the Alpine and AlphaTauri are just not it so far.
Fortunately not. Look at the pace that Ryan Rod is exhibiting though. 2.5 seconds on Scornsy, who's under pressure in turn from multiple cars. As another AlphaTauri issue occurs there for front runner.
So
Don't know if we saw this, but Grumpy's saying there was a chaotic start in Division 4 with a major crash at turn 1.
oh, maybe Order 66 was mistyped in. Instead of sending it to Division 1, they sent it to Division 4.
Wait, did you see this before?
What?
Bacon's Redemption in chat?
Oh, what's this? Oh.
Yeah.
May crash not talk for 1 minute. So for 2 minutes, Christ. My apologies, I'll put the timer up.
Alright, well, while that happens, we will stick with the action here. It seems that Scornsy has reduced the gap in front by a couple of tenths. Still not enough to have DRS opportunities, and in fact, still under a lot of pressure from behind. Coping with it for now. Lanzi is attached to the back of Aero here. Aero's fallen back a little bit since qualifying, but still in a decently high group within the top 10. Sort of tucked out behind Palmer here. He's got his own queue of cars going on. We've got further issues in the back there for Smith, who at this point either has some damage on that car or a setup that's just not working for him. Yeah, there's a lot of issues going on towards the back. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a safety car for one of these guys. As Scornsy now takes that gap to underneath 2 seconds. So I wonder if Ryan is just saving his battery up after deploying a lot of it to get outside of that 1 second margin early on. We've got some defensive moves down the straight. Some flashing battery on the back of the Williams there. Very close to the back of 7th place Scott Palmer, but not able to make a move. The yellow flags there in the final sector for AlphaTauri driver. Robert Yates makes the move on Bacon. Very deep though, and Bacon will come back underneath. Possibly a corner cut from the Williams there. And there's going to be DRS in fact for the car in front. Due to... he's even waving the rear wing. What a bit of showmanship there from Bacon. I love that. I really hope Crash is on board with that. I can't tell because my stream's broken. But I certainly saw it and it was funny. Frontrunner retires in the pit lane, probably responsible given all the woes he'd has had this race. Probably was liable to cause a safety car had he crashed on track. Leaves us with 19 competitors here. His teammate goes through to take 19th place. Needs a safety car to get back in the race, does Scavney, although he's the only driver to have made a pit stop so far.
Okay, I'm back. My apologies to Bacon that I didn't catch that earlier.
No. He literally repassed Bobbit, having seen Bobbit go deep under break, and then waved the DRS at him.
Oh, I was on board with that. I did catch that, yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Scornsy really trying to break the toe for a race day here. And he will take it clean. He is under pressure with a lack of battery. Quite a few passes in the midfield there. Doesn't look like race day is going to get anything going there, so we'll jump on board with these guys that just don't seem to want to end this duel.
Yeah, Aston Martin's both making moves there on Sharia and Cake respectively. So DRS working out for the green team there.
Yeah, Cake is has next to no battery. Dace
That's
is
the case for a lot of these drivers, actually.
Yeah. Shelley's done a really good job as this race has opened up. He's used his battery very responsibly.
I agree. You might want to blast it a little bit to get within the zone of Dusty here, if he can. Probably along this straight and the straight that comes in Sector 3. Would also be helpful to get out of a second from Sharia.
Yeah, he's on the hunt right now to try and get that DRS, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to close it. We'll get back up on board there with Rosie. Doesn't look like race day is going to be able to do anything this point here. And Scornsy doesn't really feel enough of the pressure to use any of his battery that he has left right now. Looking for a really good run out of turn 2 and 3 is race day, but once again, still nothing going quite yet. We'll head over to Arrow as he gets a good run out of 2 and 3, and defensive maneuvers by Palmer, and breaking deep is Arrow trying to go around the outside to get the job done.
Will done it.
Yeah, he just made it. Yeah, Palmer backs out. Responsible there. Move. Lance, he's just kind of sitting in behind here. He's got quite a bit of battery to let loose. If he can catch Palmer, he should be able to get Arrow quite easily as well. Both these guys ahead are both sub 10 on the battery. And
there's a move up front.
Mm-hmm.
Race day gets past Scornsy with the middle sector DRS zone. That suggests that there was a poor exit possibly for Scornsy, or that he was already being challenged side by side into the previous turn, which is considerably less likely. But the move is made. There's now a 3-second gap in front of P2, so it does suggest that they cost each other a bit of time there. We'll see if Scornsy just blasts straight back past, which is certainly possible here, although he doesn't hook up that braking zone particularly well. Yeah. Edwin has caught this group, by the way, after negotiating Say, so he's quietly made his way up there to attach himself.
Yeah, and Say is actually not too far away from these guys, too. A little more battling there, and we can see 5 guys, burgers and fries.
In a shocking turn of events, Raceday has more ERS than the drivers around him. It doesn't seem that it's going to matter, though, because here comes Scornsy, pounces down the inside, and makes a nice move there.
Yeah, that was very well done to get that done, because Scornsy hasn't looked amazingly quick here so far. So kind of still getting back up front and leading this pack is the place where he wants to be. And as specified before, Say is back in this pack as well.
Ooh, bit of lag there. Hopefully that's on my end. The thing that's always going to be worrying for Matt Rosie here is the constant looming threat of a safety car and being so close to your teammate. It could hurt him more than anyone else.
Arrow was doing a really good job breaking away from Palmer, but he made a big mistake around turn 11, and now he's under some serious pressure. And Lancey now is going to start dumping the battery. As you can see the red light flashing there for Palmer, who is on the hunt, and Palmer might have just sewered himself. Edwin is going to get Rosie, but we might have a 3-car battle here Lancey's got a really good run, and there he goes. The battery is deployed, and he's already going to overtake Palmer. He might get 2 down the pit straight. Arrow comes back over to the outside, and Lancey opted out. He could have. He quite could have there.
There was contact, by the way, between Lancey and Palmer. I'm almost certain of it. And it was very lucky for both of them that there wasn't something more serious occurring as a result. Let's put it that way.
But still, Lancey's in a very good position. Does get Palmer. Can see Arrow with the blinking light. Knows he has the advantage. He's just got to get back closer, and he's got a half a lap to do so.
Edwin on a charge here, though. He's now up to 4th. Doesn't get a super exit there. Race day did, though, and he might be challenging here again for P2. Backs out. Interesting. All the while, Ryan Rogers has increased his gap to 4 seconds now.
Yeah, Edwin doesn't have much battery to work with here. Matt?
Doesn't seem he needs it, though, does it?
No, not at all. Because Matt has far more, but he still was able to get the overtake. But we'll see. Matt looking for a really good exit here out of the final 2 turns. Doesn't bring
At some point, Dace passed Sharia, by the way, so we should give credit for that. And then the Aston Martin's now running line and stern, 11th and 12th. So we're at a point where hards can make it to the end if drivers choose to change their strategy. However, the mediums still have plenty of life in them, so it won't be necessary to pit yet. But just if you want to get out of a pack that's slowing you down, maybe you want to pit. Oh, big moment for Edwin. Doesn't cost him a position somehow, but could have been curtains for sure, as we see an Aston Martin have issues. That's Shelley. Loses 3 positions there.
Yeah, unfortunately lost all that hard work that he's done.
So Mother Ellie asking for a battery comparison. In that 2nd to 6th battle, we've got 25% for Scornsey, 70 for race day, 17 for Edwin, 62 for Matt, 67 for Say. So yeah, I mean, some of them are similar there. Certainly Edwin has the least, and Scornsey with the 2nd least.
Yeah, and the laps just kind of fly by here in Bahrain. We're already done 11, onto the 12th. Almost halfway through this race. Quite a bit has happened. And there we go. Stop. Edwin dives in.
Reasonable choice. He's going to struggle on the outlap because firing up these hards is very tough and you lose a lot of time in that first sector. But has he found a gap, more importantly? Palmer also joins him in the pit lane. Same strategy. And it looks like he has found a gap here. If he gets out in front of Bacon, that will be key. Actually, I think Bacon's going to come past.
Yeah.
Yellow flags. There's a crash. Dace is done.
Oh, Dace is out.
If that's a safety car, that's horrible. Oh. Horrible timing for those who just pit.
Edwin and Palmer.
Dace's car is mangled, by the way.
Wow, yeah. Not much left of that.
He's going to need not only a panel beater, but like...
Oh, the safety car just smacked it, too.
Really?
Yeah, the safety car just pushed it off track.
My God.
Oh, I'm so happy I saw that. Oh, wow.
Right, so everyone will jump into the pits here for sure, other than, of course, the drivers who just pit. They're going to lose big time. So that'll be Edwin and Palmer will lose in their respective battles. Unfortunate for them. These things happen more often than they should. Is there damage on the safety car?
Yeah, man, that thing got a good piece of Dace. That was so funny. I was on board with Palmer, and I was going down the straight, and I was looking in the rear, and I caught it at the end there. But I mean, Mother, you did ask 70 or 17. I mean, at this point, though they will gain all their battery back, but which I'm sure you will know. But I just thought
race day was 70 at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be neutralised now. Everyone will go back to pretty much 100% when this safety car comes in, so it won't matter.
I was just making sure. I didn't want to. I didn't want to
Yep.
just overlook your question there, Mother Ellie. Yeah. So Edwin will go back in behind Matt.
In fact, it looks like Say benefited from the McLaren stacking there. Overtakes Matt. Otherwise, the order is roughly the same.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Mother Ellie. It's tough because I'm trying to watch the action here, and then my chat is over here, so it's difficulties.
So, Got Palmer also lost out at least to Dusty, possibly. No, Lanzi was in front, so he lost out to Dusty only, who was about a second and a half behind. Makes sense as well. Not sure if anyone else lost or gained from that, but Scavney has come out on mediums, as have Bobbett and Nicky. They may make the end, but Scavney's going to have to use those tyres a lot to catch up to the field, so I may have stayed out one lap longer and pitted under the next lap of safety car if I was Scavney. Either way,
Did
they
you
may still make the end.
did you bring up the double stack from McLaren there?
I did. Matt Rosie lost out to Say as a result of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We'll see. We'll bring Scornsy back into it. Maybe his car is more suited for the hards. Who knows? I'd like to see if there's any damage on that safety car. That would be funny if they put that in. That would bring a player base back if they actually put damage on the safety car. He's just driving around with half of his bumper hanging on the ground.
I want that to be clipped, actually. I want to see that.
Oh. I wonder if it's too late at this point.
Nah.
How far back can you clip? Let me see. Driving around with half of his bumper. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, it's too far back.
Oh.
But maybe after the race is done, I can go back and clip that.
Well, one of the important things about Dace's DNF is that he was 8th place in the championship, and that top 7 is important for car choice, so he won't be having car choice. That kind of leaves Lanzi in a fight with Cake and maybe Shelley.
Yeah.
Maybe Aero's involved, although
Yeah.
it seems a little bit too far back.
Yeah, things can happen. If something happens to Cake, then that'll definitely bring Shelley or Lancy and Arrow into discussion. But we'll see. Will that be extended to 8th with Ryan supposedly retiring next season too?
That's a good point. It's all up in the air.
Yeah, it's all over the place. And we don't know who else is going to hit us with a late retirement as well.
I believe I've heard of one.
Oh, who's that? You can whisper.
But I won't out that.
Whisper it to me.
Whisper it on air.
I'm listening.
All right, safety car is coming in this lap. There's going to be 15 laps to go here. So over half the race remains. Ryan will have control of the field. When will the number 2 choose to set off? Obviously a Van Dorn fan being number 2. And there he goes. Does not catch Scornsy unaware whatsoever, but still looks to have a good run towards turn 1 for the race leader.
Both drivers using quite a bit of DRS. Edwin will get past
Matt,
and contact. A big contact. Race day is turned sideways, and as well is Lusky, and this restart has been dreadful.
Oh, God.
And, oh, my God. Okay.
Rosie's without a front wing, I think. Completely gone.
Edwin's
Terrible for both Ferraris.
gonna have to pit as well. Yeah.
I think there's rear damage for Say. He's got no control over that thing.
Oh, never mind. Edwin's fine. Never mind. Phantom damage.
Oh, what the hell am I witnessing here? There goes Scavney. Contact with, I think that was Nicky. Dusty around the outside of Smith. What a beautiful move that was, as Bobbitt goes very wide. Grosstein and Bacon negotiating 9th and 10th.
That was rough. That was
Oh my
tough.
God, if Bacon pulls this move off, I'll be very impressed. Okay, not quite, but it was a cool attempt there from Bacon.
He's very closely following him.
Oh, rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Say's definitely got damage. He's struggling a lot since that contact at turn 1. Very unfortunate. He'd been running very strongly all race.
Oh, Nicky is going
Down
to
the
jump
inside,
back through.
There goes Nicky. Wow. And not only Nicky, but Bobbitt. Those medium tyres coming into play. Oh!
Oh, Nicky's making some naughty moves
serious
down the
weaving
straight.
going on
Yeah. And Bobber's having none of it. And he's going to dive down the inside line and pushes him right out to the edge. A little bit of contact between the two guys. And they're fighting hard. And Bobbert, and then Johnny on the spot, Impossible, is just going to settle into 11th place.
Dusty, though.
And Nicky's not done yet here either. He's going to get... Oh, never mind, he is.
Responsible retirement there from Say, who definitely would have picked up rear damage, I think.
Oh, Nicky is fuming right now. Yeah, oh God. He's boiling. But after all is said and done, Edwin is back up into 3rd.
Roastay might be too. I think Roastay just had an off because he's 14th.
Yeah, I imagine he must have some sort of damage. I mean, it's probably side pod, if anything, because he was turned sideways and got clattered into by a couple of drivers.
Oh, arrow out of nowhere. Blasts past Bacon. Shout out to Lanzi, though. He was not 4th previously, and now he is.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But the top 3 have broken away big time. Scott Palmer has Lanzi in his sights.
DRS is back open. Scornsy's in a hell of a fight there. Trying to work on not getting overtaken as well as overtaking Ryan Rods.
Yeah, he's trying to catch his championship rival while trying to swat away the fly that is the teammate of the championship rival.
Yeah, right. Here we go. Palmer looking very ferocious on Lancy here. And maybe something down that middle straight there. Could happen. It has happened. We've seen it this race at least as well. But, well, Lancy's got... Lancy has not even touched the battery since the restart, so he's got a lot into defense. Dusty, though, he's a guy looking really good. Maybe lining up something on Bobbert. But Bobbert might have a good enough exit there. Bobbert's already flashing as well. And a yellow flag for surprise, surprise, and AlphaTauri. It is just a rough day for the Alpine and AlphaTauris today here. And a spin by Edwin.
Well, I was going to comment that Ryan's out of a second up front, but Edwin certainly is too. And there becomes a podium fight here between Lanzi, Palmer, and Shelley.
Oh, and Edwin's completely off as well.
Does he pit here for a new front wing?
No.
Here comes the move for 3rd. Side by side. 2 Ferrari-powered cars. Shelley watches on, hoping for contact. Then he can just come through and grab his 2nd podium of the season.
Now, this is massive for final placement implications. That's a good word. With Cake is in 7th, so he's worked himself back up into a good position. Arrow and Bobbert still going at it, and Arrow looks like he's got him pretty clean here, and will be able to work away as Bobbert is just struggling for battery.
And talking about battery, I think Lanzi may have weathered the storm.
Ooh, Dusty, sorry, with a very bold very bold overtake there by Dusty down the inside line there of turn 8, which is quite a peculiar place. Can be done, has been done, and Edwin is really struggling as he way over brakes, and now he's under pressure as well from Arrow. Arrow is going to use up as much batter as he can. Edwin is just got the nose ahead, and he will be able to hold on to 9th place. But yeah, he's fighting this car so very much. Yeah, he lost it a little bit there as well.
Must have damage.
Yeah.
Gab up front is back within DRS. Not sure how or why, but it is.
And Race Day will work his way past Edwin. Edwin comes back at Race Day, which has happened there, and then Edwin loses it again. Race Day goes back through.
Brayton's now up front.
Yeah, very close between those two.
He wants to end the season with a win, even if he can't win the championship. I love Mother Ellie's response to that crash we saw, by the way. Woohoo, what a mess!
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we've got problems for Smith Pell, unfortunately. I hate to see it, but Alpine once again struggling there. At least they're both still in it, though.
I mean, don't look now, but Shelley the Turtle has a good shot for a podium here.
Agreed. And that was a fastest lap there for 17th place Matt. I mean, what would have been if he'd have not been involved in that crash? I'm not sure whose fault it was, but he was certainly one of those ones that was worst affected.
All I saw was Race Day sideways and then just carnage.
Yeah, I had a weird view of it as well. I saw a Ferrari just 316 in the middle of the pack.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. It's hard. I was so bad for laughing, but it's just still. We'll see here. Got Palmer very close onto the back of Shelley. Shelley's trying to get a good exit here. He's probably too far back, though, to get anything into turn 1. Maybe to get himself a little bit closer and to get something into turn 4, that is. Potential.
Yeah, just needs to manage the battery. Lansley's known for being very well tempered on the battery. Doesn't, use it unnecessarily, and he's got almost double at this stage. So Shelley would do well to save it in behind him as long as he can. Make Lansley use a bit of it to defend without using too much himself.
Some very hard defense there from Bobbert, and he gets the DRS as well to help him out, and still holding Race Day in 11th. Impossible. And Scavney working their way in 13th and 14th. And wow. That safety car restart completely flipped this race all over the place.
Race Day with a outlandish attempt, backed out, I think, wisely. Could have been very scary there, as Scavney negotiates Edwin. And you wouldn't have thought that would have happened earlier in the race when Scavney was approaching being lapped and Edwin was up there at the front. But such are the yo-yos that you see, roller coaster races.
Oh my God, Edwin is just fighting this car so much. It's like he almost doesn't have any downforce in some areas.
Yeah, I think he's got rear damage of some form. Yeah, look at there's no rear grip whatsoever.
I think he's still just trying to finish this race just so he can hold off Race Day. Currently that gap sits at 22 points. So with how Race Day is in 11th.
Race Day's having a look around the outside currently at turn 1 of Bobbert Yates, who does not allow that move to go ahead. However, there's going to be DRS hopping up towards turn 4, and Race Day is certainly close enough, has the inside. He's going to get forced even closer to the inside. And Bobbert will try and swoop around like a dirty magpie and does it. What a great move.
Yeah, he's definitely making those mediums work well.
That's a good point. The mediums will go up. And here comes Race Day down the inside. He's had enough of that, but won't get the traction. And Bobbert still remains there in 10th place for the time being.
And I don't think Bobbert was ready for that either. He nearly turned into him.
All this is allowing Bobbitt's teammate Aero to escape further up the road, which may be by design by the Williams pair. But race day will not be impressed.
Oh my God. Okay, so as it stands right now, race day and Edwin with 11th, 14th. Okay. So if
Ooh,
Edwin loses one more
front
position.
battle.
Oh, yes.
The gap here. Sorry, Don.
No. By all means, racing before info. Scorenzy's bringing himself back close. He is going to dump a little bit of battery, but not quite close enough. Ryan Rodgers is starting to slowly load up that battery once again, and Scorenzy can definitely see that he is not blinking, so he understands the situation more than anyone. But going back to what I was saying, race day currently sitting in 11th will get 75. Edwin in 14th will get 60. But if there's a position change, if race day picks up one and Edwin loses one, then they're dead tied on points at the end of the season. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for the battle for third.
And race day would win a tie, I believe, between those two.
Mm-hmm. Yes, with that race win, for sure. Or one or two. Yeah, he picked up 2 wins. Which is just heartbreaking because Edwin had so many goddamn podiums. Like, it was just, it was relentless, the amount of podiums the guy picked up, but just could not get on the top step. Yeah, but Bobbert is definitely not making it easy there for race day. Scorenzy is closing the gap, not even using any DRS. He's going to get right onto the back entering turn 1. And I think Ryan Rod's, his plan was to save a little bit more for defense going out of turn 3. Scorenzy is going to invest it.
To be reduced to 2 combatants now as Palmer falls outside of DRS. That'll be hard to regain now because Shelley will continue to have that DRS. And there is race day's move finally.
Oh my God, they're like interlocked.
Still there, though. Oh.
Wow.
Oof, that was close.
They were like interlocked wheels at one point. I mean, it's not done yet here. Bobbert still has the tire advantage at this point.
Well, maybe not. Maybe with the tires as they are, he'll be suffering now. As Smith Pell has... is it Nicky that has issues there? I think it's Nicky, yeah. Mm-hmm. My apologies. Wrong Alpine gets going there. And I will say that lap 23, no penalties. Always good to see.
Yeah, now Race is starting to break away. And Scorenzy has lost the DRS to Ryan Rods, as Ryan did invest a little bit there before the straight, and Scorenzy was not able to get himself back within touching distance.
Yeah, Shelley needs to hope that he just got the DRS. He does. He was at 0.9, and that's key there, because I think Lanzi did dump a little bit of battery there. He's now at 20%. He tried to escape.
Yeah.
That has not worked.
Yeah, he chose a time to try and catch Shelley out, but Shelley was just able. So very close. Just able. And that's Rosie spun. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a little panic there. I thought that was Scorenzy. We'll see. We'll see.
Move. Dusty and Cake got very close there as the first sector becomes the second. Dusty makes it through into 7th.
Oh, this is very important now. Edwin trying to fight, and Smith Pell over accelerates, exiting turn 1, and will spin. If that overtake went through for Smith on Edwin, Edwin would have dropped out of the top 3 for Drivers' Championship. And I'm not sure if even Edwin knows that, how big that spin was from Smith, but we'll see if Smith can bring it back with how ailing Edwin is at this point.
Nicky's affixed the new front wing and a set of softs. Might be going for the fastest lap here. He's going to be very close to being lapped, however. Once again, it was point 0.9 as the DRS is open there for Shelley compared to Lanzi. So it looks like Lanzi has a bit of a pace advantage here because Shelley's only holding on due to that rear wing opening.
You know what? Off of a safety restart, they should have an auto, like, helicopter turn 1, turn 2 view. Because that would have made that so much better. We should really be developers there, Jacko.
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure.
We'd make this game so much better.
Yeah, there's definitely a few suggestions I think we can throw out there to the developers. Whether they'd listen or not is another question.
They probably don't listen to good ideas, hence why we're at where we are.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Dusty's closing in here on Sharia. Possibly an attempt at 6th place here from Dusty, which would be a good comeback because he was one of the cars that was affected quite heavily at that restart.
I don't think Edwin's race is done yet because Smith Pell is rapidly closing, and he's got Matt Rosian behind him too. So we've got to really keep an eye on that as it goes. Race day should be fairly slotted in 10th place as we stand right now. Oh, Dusty just barely got DRS.
Yeah, I was watching that as well. He's having to defend, though, from Cake. Ooh, looked a bit late on the brakes. Everyone goes late.
Mother Ellie's saying that Matt has floor damage as well.
Yeah, not surprised. Unfortunate. Impressive that he managed to get the fastest lap, though, with that damage. Let's see who has it currently. It's currently Matt Rosie with a 31.0. That's about 1/10 quicker than the best set by Ryan Rods.
I do want to make a point here, though. Hats off to Alpine and AlphaTauri there for Scavney, Smith, and Nicky for just putting their head down and fighting through all the difficulties that has been this race.
As it stands, Shelley has the hardest charger with 11 places gained. A fantastic drive there. Dusty with 2/3 of a good lap here. Had been almost a second behind. Now he's 5/10 behind 6th place as Nicky sets the fastest lap by about 3/10 there on his softs.
Smith Pell is already back on Edwin here. Oh, and Smith is actually struggling a little bit too. So we've got 3 wounded animals here fighting for 14th place. But it's almost like Edwin is without a leg, though.
Edwin's without a leg.
Yeah, he's fighting really hard. We'll see. Smith is opening it up like he's going to do it before the final
Hero's
turn.
considering a move here on Cake in a very inadvisable part of the track. Backs out very wisely. Sets himself up for a nice move here, though, I think.
Oh.
No, doesn't go for that either.
Cake slams the door.
Bobbitt and Scavney going at it. And there goes Bobbitt. Collision with Scavney. That might allow... Wait, no. Edwin's really far behind that, actually.
Yeah. He's fought off Smith fairly well so far.
Bacon is the one who gains 2 positions from that collision.
Oh, Smith is going to go down the inside here on Edwin. And Edwin just cannot get the car turned around.
Yeah, he's got 2 positions actually lost. Oh, no, Matt doesn't decide to follow through.
Yeah, so with that, Edwin will drop down to 4th in the championship. Yeah, and he's already losing major time to Smith. And yeah, he'll
Look
be...
at the gap between Aero and Cake halfway down the straight. Aero pulls out of the slipstream, has 0% on the ERS though. Has his nose looking down the inside of the Red Bull. Need to save some battery, man. Like, jeez, 2 laps to go. Here comes another DRS attempt here. I think the wing's open for Cake as well, though, in defence. And there's finally a penalty. And it's for Smith. So briefly, there is a window for Edwin, but he's lost out to Matt in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still a chance. Oh, my God. This is just every lap.
Oh, Aero wanted that move, but decided against it.
So Lanzy's done a very good job of keeping Shelley consistently at bay there in fourth. And Smith actually loses to Matt. But Edwin still needs to get past both, and then Smith spins as well. So Edwin will take that position back. We'll see if Bacon's just kind of chilling like this whole race. Oh, goodness.
So, last attempt for a lot of these drivers will be down towards turn 1 here. Shelley's not close enough to make that podium move, unfortunately for him. Asti not close enough to Shreya either, but behind him, 0% for both cars on the battery.
Oh, and Bobbert's going to break deep.
Is that Bobbert or
Arrow,
Arrow gets a big wobble going there, and that might be his chance of improving on 9th over.
Oh, Shelley's very close onto Lancy. Oh, really? The last lap?
So those 3 medium runners have done well to hold those mediums for that long, particularly Scavney and Bobbert. But up front, there's no worries at all for Ryan Rods. He's got 1 braking zone left this championship to negotiate to make a 3-time champion, draw himself level with Scornsey there. Still a very elite club of only 4 different drivers champions in D1. But here he comes to cross the line and win. Very close to the pit wall, actually, there. Ryan Rods. Scornsey ends the season with a 2nd place. Lanzy looks to have sealed 3rd place here in the race. A nice podium to end his season with Shelley directly behind him, and got Palmer in the top 5, probably securing himself a position in D1 next season.
I got muted on the last lap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shelley with 11 positions gained will be the hardest charger. Fastest lap still with Nicky at the moment, which will be a nice way to end his season.
My God. Edwin for fighting through this as well, because like just watching him at every turn, it's just unbearable. Smith has almost already caught him again. Like that's how bad it is for his car.
Yeah, I've been there before. It's really unpleasant to drive cars in that sort of damaged state. But clap, round of applause for finishing a race like that. Especially it was like half the race with that sort of damage.
For sure. Okay. Let's get these guys in.
Nicky's going to do some burnouts, I think, to end the season. Yeah, here we go.
Love to see it.
Imagine he gets disqualified.
That'd be just a cherry on top.
Oh, he just got rammed by. I think that's Ryan Roth's car finished the race a lap again. Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. And for the final time in Season 8, we will go through the final results. 15 rounds in the books. 8 full seasons as well. Done and dusted. thank everyone for coming along with another journey that was the Midwest F1 League, and a quick congratulations to the Mercs, and especially to Ryan Rods for getting himself back on the championship, tying Scornsey, as Jacko stated there before, and we'll see how things play off in the future. Are you gonna out the retirement yet, Jacko, or what?
No, it's not mine to out.
Okay, does anyone need to come into the interviews afterwards?
What do you mean? Don't we need to interview the top three, the driver of the day, maybe the constructor champion as well?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to announce it.
Oh, not that I'm aware of.
Or, well, you can bring them in. You don't have to. You don't have to tell me or anything.
I don't think they want to announce it.
What?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
There's someone who's gonna. Well, how are we gonna know who's retiring then?
Well, they'll say it in their own time.
Oh, what a load of shit!
Not mine to say.
What about the big hurrah of the announcement and the claps from the chat and
It's up to them.
the best wishes and?
What if they change their mind?
Just.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for the production here, Jacko. Okay. I'm all for putting on a good product. But if you don't want that, then, Jacko.
I'm not for false advertising. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I am.
The rumor. I don't know.
It makes stories, Jacko. It makes stories. Look at the Kardashians.
I hate stories. Well, I don't want to look at the Kardashians.
Stories make money. All right. We've got quite a few people coming in for the interview here. You're comparing yourself to the Kardashians. I'm not comparing myself to the Kardashians. What I'm saying is that they're millionaires. I ain't that pretty. I mean, God, did you see a lot of them before all the work? I mean, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to be rude. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's some natural looks there, but you could arguably say that maybe I have more. But, you know, we're here for F1. We're here for F1, okay? Everyone's got to remember that. Jacko tends to forget that at times. All right, let's... Absolutely not.
And I commentate a race. All of a sudden, there's conversation about hot chocolates and stuff.
Oh, who?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
When Will and I commentated a race, most of the conversations about hot chocolate.
Oh, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
I love you some hot chocolate. Mocha as well. Do you like mochas?
Yeah, occasionally.
Oh yeah, you're not really a coffee guy.
Not particularly.
Yeah. Okay. No, there's sometimes, you know, every day during the workday I like to I go to the a gas station or whatever to warm up my lunch, my leftovers typically, and I get a coffee. Sometimes if they have a nice little coffee bar, I'll make myself a mocha and whatnot.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, I treat myself with a $1.75 coffee from 7-Eleven at times.
Real splurging out there.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I work hard. I try not to. That's the goal. Is to really try not to work hard.
It's all about economy of effort, right?
Yes. I know how to do my job, and I'm pretty good at doing my job, I'd like to say. But I don't want to do my job. Even though I don't mind it. But then I have to work. But you have to work. See where I'm stuck here, Jacko?
where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's a predicament. Mocha is my go-to. From where, Mother? Like, do you ever make like a homemade mocha? Sometimes I make like an espresso shot, and then a little hot chocolate in there as well. That's nice. Kicks off the day. Quite nice. I like me Americanos. Americanos are good too. It's much more bold, okay, Jacko? It got a bolder flavor than just a normal coffee.
Really, you don't want like an underlined or an italic flavor?
I mean, the problem is with me with drinking anything is that I'm a gulper. I gulp, so I don't do good with like IPAs or dark beers or anything like that because I can't enjoy the flavor because I naturally just gulp it back. Like with coffee, I don't touch. If I buy something from like whatever drive-through, I don't touch for a half hour because I know it's too hot. And then once it gets down to that temperature that I like it at, it's gone. It's literally like a shot of coffee. I just slam the whole thing back.
There you go.
Yeah. Probably not. It's not the best way to like taste and enjoy drinks, but you know, what can you do? You play poker much at all, Jacko?
Not as much as I'd like to.
Oh, no?
Hmm.
Yeah. I was trying to turn it into a thing now to get some of the guys over once a month to play some poker. The problem is that they're not very good, so I don't know what they're doing because they don't know what they're doing. It's hard to read, you know?
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. There's some times where I can just get them spot on exactly what's happening, but then there's just other times where I have just no idea what is just ticking through their brain. So I just, yeah. It scares me, you know?
It scares you. Fair enough.
Well, it's just like, it's like the mystery. Like, what are they doing? But, yeah. And their bets and everything are just so rattling, like, it's not the typical, because I play with some friends that like actually play, so it's better there, but they're still not even really great. I'm not even that great, but I can kind of read it into it a little bit. But yeah, my close friends, they're just like, they're loose cannons when it comes to that. Yeah. Let's see. I think we're waiting on Edwin here. I'd like to get Edwin in.
No ways to interview him last. Gotta get started with the others first.
Yeah, we might have to do that. Okay, I'll bring him in here. Okie day. So, how things are going to commence here. We will go Ryan with the short one just for the race. Then we will go Scornsy for his race discussion as well as season. Lancy for his race. And Shelly for his race. And then to Edwin and Ryan for their congratulations. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So, starting with Brian. Bye-bye. Hello. Starting with Ryan. Congratulations on another race win this season. Going off with a bang, I guess. You're Rosberging your way out of the Midwest F1 League, which we don't like to see, but it is what it is. We can't change your mind. Hopefully we can, but it is what it is. Starting with qualifying there, how'd you feel like it went? Did you feel like it was 100% of you, 99% of you?
What?
For qualifying. How peak were you? How final were you?
Like 90%?
Oh, so you did understand what I was saying then.
Well, I wasn't listening. Sorry.
No problem. Okay. So continuing on, how did that safety car? Were you gonna pit when Edwin pitted, or were you planning to kind of stay out a little bit longer, as well?
I was planning to box +1 to Edwin a lap later.
So that you could have been on the receiving end of that unfortunate pit timing then.
Yes, absolutely. But I got lucky, maybe. Well, Well, not really. Unlucky. So that made that like the gap close up again.
Yeah. Actually, Jack, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I have a question more for the whole season, but with regard to the race, it seemed like it was pretty comfortable most of the way for you. Even when you had Scornsey at his closest, you had a bit more battery in reserve. Did you feel that was the case, that you already always sort of had a bit of margin there, or was there any time when you thought there was a bit of a risk at losing the race?
Really felt like it was pretty safe. Obviously, Scornchy got in my DRS after I almost spun, but I don't know. I just felt I had the pace to when like he got in the DRS straights, he just couldn't get close enough to make a move. So I was feeling kind of just like pretty safe, and once he made that mistake, I just used a little bit of battery that I had left to just secure it.
Fair enough. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay. I guess we'll just come back to you there, Ryan, to get on to your retirement speech that I'm sure you have written down. But okay, over to Scornsey.
Sure, I do.
Ah, good. Well, you can work on it now if you don't. To Scornsey. So it was a good race start for you. We'll start with that. I mean, how good of a launch do you feel like you had there? Because it looked really solid.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Race day had a very, very poor launch. I've noticed that over the past few races that he's had pretty poor starts. So I figured, okay, I can more than likely get him. Don't know if I can maybe try to attack Ryan, but wasn't gonna do anything dumb or anything like that. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the start that I got, and then just kind of try settling into a rhythm. But yeah, ultimately, I don't think I don't think I had anything for Ryan throughout the race. Was struggling with ERS, and then just kept making small little mistakes, tiny little mistakes that I had to catch the car here and there. And there was one moment though in sector 2 where I had a crazy save, and that very well could have been a DNF. So pretty happy with that.
Okay. Now I kind of want to ask you a question about your wheel situation. Like, how tough was that for you to kind of transition over to it?
What, to like controller and stuff?
Yeah, like how. I mean, I as well. I haven't had a chance to say that sucks. That absolutely sucks, man. And I feel for you. That is so rough. But I mean, you did do a very good job in working your way through all those difficulties. But I mean, yeah, like how tough was that, just racing wise?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty frustrating. Like normally, I've been able to transition back and forth pretty well. Certain tracks, obviously, are a little bit easier to transition over to, but yeah, I was struggling since pretty much late December, beginning of January. It was like, man, I'm not performing how I want to or should be, and just try to do whatever I could to limit whatever damage. And then unfortunately, I started getting some pretty annoying stick drift. So that was really impacting my pace in certain corners, because the car, I would just have it hit me mid-corner, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, guess I'm trying to catch the car mid-corner. But ultimately, I mean, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. First and foremost, Ryan has drove one hell of a season. Massive congrats to him on the win, on the championship, and what a season! What a way to go out for him. And but yeah, it was for me. This back end of the season has definitely been a little frustrating, just because of the circumstances or whatever. But hey, man, just gotta roll with the punches, and that's it.
Yeah, no, for sure. It is what it is. You can't. You only get the cards you're dealt, right? So, I mean, admiral what you fought through with all that stuff, and I'm hoping everything turns out for the best for you in the end with all that situation there.
Thank you.
No problem. Jacko?
Yeah, Swansea, you said the back end of the season was kind of the problem end for you there, but you had 3 wins throughout the 15 races, so not a terrible season by anyone's standards, maybe yours. But are there any races that you would attribute most of the deficit to Ryan, standings-wise, to? And may you even consider that the McLaren curse has held you back a little bit?
Man, I wanted to break that curse so bad. I really, really did. I really wanted to be the one to just finally be like, look, you know what? It doesn't matter whether it was the constructors or the drivers, still got a chip. But it just didn't work out. And, I got to say, I'm definitely not going to be in the McLaren next season. I will tell you that. I am getting far away from that car. But in terms of what you asked, like where I thought maybe the season kind of was the turning point or whatever. I mean, Spa for sure stands out to me, big time. Just everything that could have gone wrong there went wrong. Obviously Singapore, but that was I mean, pretty late into the season already, and just didn't really make that much of an impact. But Spa for sure. And then like I started off the season okay. I was there for sure, challenging for wins or looking like I could challenge for it, and just as the season carried on, just kind of had bad luck here and there, and then around like late November, early December, that's kind of when other things started happening, and then I just definitely my pace fell off for sure, unfortunately. But all in all, not a season I'm particularly proud of, but one that I'm not gonna like be, like super sad about or anything like that, or so I'm proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, congratulations on at least the second place there, the 3 wins, of course, and best of luck with next season.
Thank you.
Could you maybe give us a little insight on what color of car you're liking heading into the final season of 2022?
One that goes fast.
Oh. So the Ferrari then, Jacko.
No comment from me.
Awesome. Thanks, Scornsy. Appreciate it, man. Have a good break while you have it.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. Okay, to Lancey, picking up a nice little podium to end his season, and he's going to push himself up into the Drivers' Championship as well. I think he might have a 7th or 8th now, so you may have the option to select your team. Maybe we'll get a little bit of thought on that later, but we'll start with the race. Now, yours really kind of opened up again after the safety car restart with all that carnage. I mean, why don't you kind of put me through what you witnessed there?
Well, I didn't really see it. The only thing I saw was the carnage, and I just had the good line around the outside, so I just swooped around and got the race scot-free. So that was great to see.
So do you think your kind of position heading into that was just like A1 spot that you could kind of heading into that chaos?
I mean, you gotta have a bit of luck that the incident is in front of you, but I like to be on the outside of turn 1 so that you at least have somewhere to go if it goes wrong. And it worked out this time, so happy to be on the good side.
Yeah, no, true enough. Now, why don't you talk to me a little about the defense that you had to kind of put on Shelley for all those laps afterwards?
Well, he wasn't my DRS, but I was pretty confident. I had more battery because we were in the party, so I knew I had more battery. So I was pretty confident I couldn't keep him behind. The podium was more luck than anything because the focus was most to keep Sharia in the D1, so that happened. So mostly happy with that.
Good stuff. What do you got to say there, Jacko?
Yeah, you kind of stole my question a bit there. I was going to ask you about that 3rd place battle as well. But let's move on. I think you mentioned briefly that you were working with Sharia to sort of help him secure his spot there. So, will you be looking to team with him again next season potentially, if you're able to, or someone else potentially, or also would you like to keep the Haas?
We'll see. We have to discuss it, but I would be open for it definitely.
A great podium to end the season. I don't know if you had any others. I can't remember. But certainly, congratulations on that. Fine way to end the season.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you podiumed in Abu Dhabi, and then
Oh, that's right.
yeah, all the way back when, and then getting Bahrain here. I mean, now I look at what happened in Saudi Arabia here, because they seem to have the the answer for the desert races.
Yeah, there were definitely far in between, but good to have at least 2 in the top division. It's a hard division to get in the top, especially now with the fifth off. So happy with 2, and we'll see what we can do next season.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Are you disappointed with how Netherlands did in the World Cup?
I mean, I almost forgot about it, so thank you for it. But I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm a Germany supporter, so I get I get killed every time. So, well, at least since 2014, that is. Just been heartbreaking.
At least you won one.
Yeah, I mean, but they screw me in my World Cup pools. They absolutely screw me in it. I'm like, oh, it's heartbreaking. But yeah, it is what it is. We can woe together, I guess.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Lancey. Best of luck next season. Looking forward to talking to you again, and have a good
Thank you.
break. No
Thank you.
problem. Okay, Shelly, you bitched and complained to get in here. Why don't you talk to me about a little bit how tough it was to just get even a sniff on Lancey for an overtake?
That was a little aggressive. Try not to laugh. No, I mean, me and Lancey made a little pack there, with just keep Palmer out of the DRS. And you get third, I get fourth. Keep the train moving. Keep Sharia in D1.
Oh, okay. So it was, there's an entire plan to that then.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Mr.
enough.
Commentator, there was a plan. Huh?
Okay.
Huge plan.
Easy. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
All right. So, why don't you kind of talk to me a little bit about the restart as well?
Yeah, no, the whole plan was to get in front of Palmer after safety car. Days kind of died. And, I'll have to make an edit, but I think I was on 11th. I came out 5th when all that madness was done. It looked like cars where everybody's just flipping around. I finagled my way through, and I ended up on the other side. I didn't hit anybody. Nobody hit me. And I kept driving along.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Jacko, what says you?
Well, I mean, Shelley, you had. I think you need to give yourself a bit more credit than that. You were making moves in the first stint there as well.
Good
One of
point.
the few drivers who made multiple moves, and 11 places gained by the end of the race suggests that maybe you missed out in qualifying. So, did something go wrong there?
Yeah, I kind of bottled my second qualifying run, and then the third qualifying run just ran wide and lost the rear. So, yeah, I'd say I'm happy with how the race panned out. I wish I would have started a little higher up, but maybe I would have got involved in that incident. So, it was a blessing in disguise, I guess.
So, coming up through the field, which pass would you say was probably the best one that you managed to pull off?
The best pass I managed to pull off? I'd say probably my pass on Cake there. Cake likes to defend a little bit, and, just got to swoop around, make sure Cake doesn't touch your back wheel, and he'll be all right.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that probably was one we saw, I think, at one stage, wasn't it, Crash?
Mm-hmm. I believe I caught it.
All right, well done, Shelley. Incredible drive.
Cheers.
Kind of quickly to go back to Jacko's point there at the beginning of the race. I almost forgot of how good of a start you had, and then you kind of lost it there with a little bit of a snapback. I mean, how shaken were you when that kind of happened after losing all those positions that you so hardly fought to get?
Do you think I have emotions? I wasn't shaking at all, baby. You see that recovery? Huge. Huge.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Cheers.
I should have just left it at that.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go over to Edwin here, and then we'll go back to Ryan. So, Edwin, things didn't kind of turn out the best for you this race. You do end up losing to race day and finishing 4th in the Drivers' Championship. I mean, not the ending that you wanted here, but still a very well done and a lot of points put forward to the Mercedes team there to pull in the Constructors' Championship. I mean, all in all, you got to be content with how everything turned out for you there. So, I mean, looking back at this season, is there anything that you think that maybe you could have done different?
I think I'm pretty happy with my season. I think this last race, I didn't have like a night. It was pretty tough, my quali session, and then I don't know why I didn't help 3rd place and just chill with it. I try to go and catch Scorenzi, and I lost my rear. Got major damage on my rear wing, and I was dancing all over the track. So definitely I will just keep 3rd place in this race and not try to get 2nd place, because I had my 3rd champion. I mean, that 3rd place was almost secure, and it was totally my fault.
Yeah, it's all about learning and everything, so it is what it is in the end of the day.
Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with my season. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
I missed one race, so that could have been my 3rd or 2nd place in the championship if I scored a couple of points there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my season. Hopefully I do a better season next time. Now that Ryan is not gonna be there, hopefully we can fight for, or at least myself can fight for wins and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I got a question lined up, but go ahead, Jacko. I don't want to steal it. I don't want to upset you.
All right. Yeah, well, Edwin, I think certainly a driver who did deserve probably at least one win this season, but you played such a great team game and it paid off in terms of the Constructors' Championship coming your way, so congratulations on that. I'm going to apologise for qualifying, because I said this has been a really tidy lap from Edwin, and then immediately the rear snapped on you. So
true.
that may have been a commentator's curse. But starting from 8th, you moved up really impressively. So I would say, certainly, yeah, with that spin, you had 3rd side up, but it's just bad luck, and I think bad luck kind of characterises your season. So next season, you sort of touched on it here, you're going for wins, but do you genuinely believe you have a shot at being the Drivers' Champion? Because I do.
I do. I think it's gonna be a very close fight with Scorenzi, but I do think I have a shot to the Drivers' Championship.
Okay, that's great to hear, and especially as a driver who gets that damage that you did and finishes the race, that's always a sign to me that they're willing to, fight through a really, not enjoyable race to just score those points, and that makes a champion. So I think you've got a bright future ahead of you in Midwest.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off because, yeah, I ended up losing too much position with respect to race day. At one point, I was like, I'm gonna retire. I don't want to continue racing, but I was trying to get the 3rd place, but wasn't enough. I mean, we were tied in points, and then the tiebreaker was
The wins.
race wins, and I think he have like 2 wins, so that's the tiebreaker.
Yeah, just the bane of your season in the end. But yeah, like Jacko said, very well done.
But pretty happy because our goal for this season was just to win the Constructors. I didn't have any other goal. That 3rd place was just the top on the on the cake, the cherry on the top, and I mean, I'm pretty happy about having the Constructors Championship with Ryan.
So I'm gonna kind of
Next season goal will be drivers championship and hopefully constructors as well.
Go ahead, Jacko. Go ahead.
No, there was nothing further to say.
Okay.
I'm very happy for Edwin.
I've got two more quick questions here. One, what exactly was your damage in that race afterwards?
So my rear wing was red.
Mm,
I mean, it was massive rear wing damage.
okay, yeah.
It was like running without any downforce in the rear. It was, snapping all over the track. It was pretty hard to maintain the car in the track and don't lose the rear.
Yeah.
Was pretty challenging, but yeah.
No, for sure. And then quickly, now you kind of have the option. Are you gonna try and ride it again with the Mercs here, or are you gonna change up your constructor?
I mean, if Scorenzi doesn't grab the Mercedes, I will go for it for sure. That's my favorite team, like in real life as well. So hopefully he didn't pick it.
Oh, okay.
Pick it up.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much, Edwin, for coming in.
Scorenzi, right?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. No, I know, man. I know how much you love Mercedes, but actually, I think because Ryan is gonna be stepping away, I think you're gonna be, and you're in the top 7. You should be able to lock in the Mercedes, anyways.
Yeah, Pork is saying in chat here that Edwin can save the Merc, so you'll get the silver arrow once again, Edwin.
So there you go, man. Already starting the season out strong.
Awesome. Good
That's
stuff. Beautiful. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you in that silver bullet again next season, Edwin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Back to you, Ryan. All right. What do you have for your speech here?
My speech.
And as well, thank you for being so patient for waiting through everyone. I'll
Well,
start with that as well.
It's been a long time here in Midwest.
Oh.
It was like, yeah, my first like league racing experience, like long term, and it was actually a very good experience. Some people try other leagues and just it's a pretty shit time, but here you can come here and actually race and actually have fun. It's not that sweaty. Stewards are like pretty good, and the whole system like pretty works. Like another thing, it was like pretty good racing in D1 for like 4 seasons.
I think 4.5.
Yeah,
4.5. I
Four and a
think.
half.
Yeah.
Well, four and like a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, it's just that grid was so competitive. It's probably the most competitive grid I've ever like raced in. And yeah, the people have been like a ride. So much fucking drama in the last like 2 years. It actually made it like interesting to watch like the whole race back and see who did what and who cost what, and then the after race aftermath. But the drama has been a little bit too much this season with a certain person coming in D1, but yeah, you know who it is. So-
Shelly.
Oh yeah, Shelly.
And I'm a walking W.
Yeah, totally, it's Shelly. And then, yeah. It's yeah, and like super respect to Scornsy. Ever since I joined, he's been there. He's always been like the mark that you need to hit. He just always in like the top 3, doesn't miss a race. And if he does, it's not his fault. It's like I did in Singapore. But yeah, we know about that. And yeah, I hope everyone else can keep racing and having fun.
So is this a permanent retirement, or is this potentially end of F1 2022?
I don't know yet. I
It,
don't know what I'll decide.
does it kind of bank on next game a little bit?
No, I don't know, because I don't think the game will change much. It's just, I think it depends on like if I have spare time in like next 6 months. If I do, maybe I'll come back.
Okay. Maybe. All right, we'll hold you to that. Maybe then. You know what, Scorns? I think you should say something about your Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pleasure seeing him master his craft. It's been a pleasure having him, if anything, push me. I think for a little bit, I was kind of just okay being where I was, and seeing the the hunger that he had, and how he was just building up his pace. You know, he started pushing me a bit, and so if anything, we elevated each other at one point or another. Uh, Definitely sucks, and it's gonna be weird to not have him on the grid next season. But you know, I wish him the best in his future endeavors. And hey, if Ryan ever decides to come back, it'll definitely be fun to share that track out there again. But yeah, I mean, massive congrats to everything that he's achieved so far, and will achieve. So yeah, I mean, it's been great. We've had some good battles, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you get into next, man.
Thank you, man. It's been a ride.
Jacko, what says you?
Well, I just had a really impressive season. I don't think it hit the record for number of race wins in a season, but it was 8 out of 15, which is over half. So very impressive, especially I think he missed a race, Ryan. So coming back from that loss of points is always impressive as well. And yeah, three championships is nothing to be scoffed at. And yeah, 2 of you have done that now. So very impressed.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will beat the race wins in a season record. It's like 11 out of 15, which is actually stupid.
Yeah, for sure. I will say this: what's your most fun season, Ryan, that you look back at?
Most fun season? The one that was like the one I did in the Mert on 21. My second championship, I think.
Okay.
That was like definitely the most fun. Because the one in the Aston Martin was like pretty meh, pretty boring. And this first season in 22 was pretty horrible. I don't know, just the game is not great this year. So it doesn't make for fun racing.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if there's much left to be said here, man. Thank you for your time. I appreciate all that you have put into this league. And as well, I'm glad that I had a run-in with you. You're a good guy. So, we'll see how things turn out for you in the future. You're always welcome here. And hopefully you do stick around. You're going to be sticking around the iRacing for us, aren't you?
No, I will leave.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'll stay around.
What a clown. You actually had me for like 1,000th of a second there. But
Also, real quick, I just wanted to say
go ahead.
massive congrats to Edwin as well. Drove one hell of a season. It's just seeing Edwin, you know, kind of step up his game, especially after he got the new wheel and pedals. Man's been a beast. So very much looking forward to racing against him. And congratulations to both of you guys on the constructors.
Yeah, and in a way, it's kind of passing the torch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, Christ, I guess this is the end. This is it. Drivers, if any of you have anything to say, by all means, say it now because it will be brought to an end.
Clancy, this is your line.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It came to my attention that some dweeb had worked for me last week. So here I am. If he's listening, better luck next year. May your future have 0 championship.
Wow.
I think he meant to say fuck you race day.
Okay, easy.
That's not the one.
Okay. Well, that's Lansy and Shelly. Scorns, anything for you, my guy?
Oh, it's just another season in the books. You know, it's been a pleasure. Looking forward to the next one. And yeah, ready to get away from the McLaren.
Good stuff.
By the way, race day, next season you'll learn who the real Scornsy is. Good luck with that.
Oh, fuck. Scornsy's going back on the Cervezas before the races. Okay. Edwin, anything from you, my guy? Or are you all good?
I'm good. Just want to say I will buy F1 2023. I will pass my account to Ryan. He will try it and he will come back. I can guarantee you that.
Oh. Okay. All right.
That's very bold.
Wow. Heard it here first. I'd like to see that. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming in. I appreciate that and giving a bunch of your time left for what was quite a lengthy interviews, but we appreciate that to finish off the season here. But yeah, Jacko, what says you about this as a whole?
Oh, it was a great season to watch, and very happy for everyone involved who had a great end to the season, and indeed just a great season in total.
Yeah, completely agree. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as I will be back for the 100% series. I got roped into it again, so we'll see how that goes. We'll enjoy our time, but until then, thank you everyone that did tune in for a very exciting Season 8. Hopefully we'll see you guys all back in the future. If you're watching this on YouTube, go fuck yourself. Thank you all to the sponsors, as well as our social media outlets, that being Twitter and Instagram. Just search up MWF1, Midwest F1 League, anywhere on the search bar there, and we will pop up and shoot us a follow. Pass it on to your friends, pass it on to your family, pass it on to your dog. That'd be very much appreciated. Every follow counts, and we thank you for all those that do such a thing. But, as said, we are done for Thursday nights for Season 8 in the books. Hopefully we will be seeing you all once again. And as per usual, I've been Crash McQueen, and I have been joined by my Australian comrade Elma Jacko. Hopefully